Hey, once again, it's end of the month book review time. November has been a fantastic reading month for me. Read some really great books. Can't wait to tell you about them. The ones that I don't have copies of here in the house because I read them as ebooks, I went to the bookstore to get copies to show you. But because it was such a busy week, I couldn't get anyone else to go to the bookstore with me to videotape me while I was there. I'm not at the level of vlogging comfort where I can simply hold up a camera in a public place and start talking to myself. I can hold up a camera in a public place and film myself, I just can't talk. So I have to voice over my book reviews over images of me holding up the books. Sorry about that.
I love all of Jocelyn Jackson's novels, and Somebody Else's Love Story may just be my very favorite. This was a wonderful story, beautifully written, completely engaging with two main characters whose perspectives we alternated between. I was completely in love with this book. I'm a real admirer of Nadia Bolz-Weber, heavily tattooed Lutheran pastor who blogs under the name Sarcastic Lutheran. If that's not enough to make you want to check out her work, I don't know what is. But this is a great memoir, thoughtful, reflective, funny, and very honest. Lisa Moore's novel Caught has earned a lot of accolades, as her books usually do. This one combines the page-turning excitement of a thriller with the precision and clarity of the very best literary fiction. Beautifully written piece of work. I really expected to enjoy Lionel Shriver's novel Big Brother, and it certainly was well written and an interesting read, but I think my enjoyment of it was marred by my inability to really like any of the characters. I found them all extremely unlikable and difficult to relate to, so that kind of held me back from really loving this one. If you like historical mysteries, you definitely need to check out the Shard Lake series by C.J. Sansom, beginning with the book Dissolution. I read that one. I read the next one, Dark Fire, and I'm now reading Sovereign. They're set in the reign of Henry VIII. Really, really interesting, both good mysteries and good historicals.
Anne Lamott, one of my personally most inspiring writers. She is never not great, and she is back with another book called Stitches, a handbook on meaning, hope, and repair. It's a little shorter than I like her books to be. I like her thicker, chunkier collections of essays, but this is a nice gift book type of collection of short reflections on how to keep going forward when everything's fallen apart by the very, very wise and always funny Anne Lamott. This is one of the funniest books I've read in a very long time, Hyperbole and a Half by the wonderful Ali Brosh. The book is a collection of her webcomics / blog, which you may already have come across, and if you have, you may very well love it as much as I do. She writes about subjects as diverse as depression and dog training and a goose invading your house, and she manages to be sensitive and insightful and always very, very, very funny. As I've been moving through the years from a fairly traditional conservative Christian perspective on homosexuality to the much more inclusive position that I guess I hold today, I've read many books along the way, but very few of them have been as good as Justin Lee's book Torn. It's his own memoir of growing up as a gay Christian and struggling with his own sexuality because he did not want to be gay, but also his exploration of where that leaves him in relation to the church. The book is subtitled Rescuing the Gospel from the Gays versus Christians Debate, and Justin Lee is really a voice of someone who understands and can see both sides of the debate and is genuinely trying to build bridges rather than walls, which is something I really, really admire. This is the book I would recommend to anyone who wants to read more about this issue. Two other books that I read and really enjoyed this month but can't hold up copies to show you because I couldn't get hold of physical copies. One is A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. People have been recommending Bryson's work to me for years. It was indeed very witty. It's about walking the Appalachian Trail, which is something I've always had an interest in, and I will say this book absolutely convinced me that it was a bad idea, which I'm not sure is Bill Bryson's goal, but it was very entertaining to read about. More fun to read about than it sounded like it would be to do. Also this month I read a great new historical novel, Mary Dyer Illuminated by Christy Robinson. Mary Dyer was a woman in colonial America who lost her life for running afoul of the religious and civil authorities, and her story is a very interesting one. Christy's done a great deal of research on Mary Dyer, who was an ancestress of hers, and this is the first of a projected 2-volume story. So I'm not doing a giveaway this month just because next month is December. I'm going to be doing my top 10 of the year, and I'm going to be doing some cool giveaways and hopefully make it kind of a game or challenge then. So I'm going to save the giving away till the end of the year, but I hope you have some great reading this month, and I highly recommend several of those books on my list.